We wish you a Merry Krampus. We wish you a Merry Krampus. We missed you.
This is the last time we're going to make this joke. The whole time we do 12 Days of Christmas.
Hello and welcome to 12 Days of Christmas, the Gentlemen Prefer Cinephiles Christmas extravaganza for this year. We've been doing all the Jumpin' the Shark stunt cast, Friday the 13th Halloween episodes.
Oh, yeah.
And now the Christmas season.
Now it's time for Christmas.
No Thanksgiving movie. Sorry. Nope.
What? Is there even a Thanksgiving movie? I'm sure there is.
We could have watched Thanksgiving or the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving, perhaps.
That's true. Next year, 12 Days of Thanksgiving. Just kidding.
I love Thanksgiving, but anyway, we will be celebrating some of our favorite, most culturally relevant, and, some Christmas movies that we're going to be shining a light on to see if they even still hold up.
Yes, so overwhelmingly, this 12 Days of Christmas, we're here to discuss why these films are Christmas films, what makes a Christmas film, what's the what's the iconography
What's
of
the
Christmas?
big deal?
Because I feel like Christmas movies have this place where, it's even, removed from, religious context, You don't necessarily have to celebrate Christmas.
As the great Ross Everett of SourceFed used to say, it's really more of an Americanized holiday at this point.
Yeah.
So we're here celebrating Christmas with our cute little eggnogs.
With our little eggnogs, with our little Santas.
They're so good.
I'm drinking silk soy milk eggnog.
I'm drinking Southern Comfort vanilla eggnog with pumpkin spice on top, and it's
I'm
delicious.
trying to get in shape for movie roles, everyone.
When it's Christmas, you can cut loose a little. So here we are to talk about Krampus, which is a movie that came out in 2016.
It was 2015.
2015?
It definitely was 2015 because I saw it with my ex-boyfriend.
So it's a movie that I had not seen before, but I had heard many good things about, from my favorite boys down at Red Letter Media had glowed about it when it came out.
Oh my god, our mentor, Robert von Dosanowski, he talked about his childhood and how fucking crazy the Krampus celebrations are. He was like, I got kidnapped by this big monster, and he said all this stuff, and I was like, what? But yeah, so that was really interesting.
Yep, Krampus is a big deal in Bavarian culture and such, and it's I mean, the movie's pretty crazy, but it's even crazier in the actual folklore than it is.
Yeah, it's wild.
This movie is directed by Michael Dougherty and co-written by Michael Dougherty, who is famous for Trick or Treat, the Halloween-themed Halloween anthology film that is Mac, our producer's, favorite Halloween movie.
I had no idea.
Yes. Which obviously after I watched it, I looked up everything I could about the production because I was, interested in how it was made and who made it. And I saved this till now because we talked about it in the last episode.
Yes.
But the Godzilla King of the Monsters movie that is coming out next year is also directed by Michael Dougherty. So we moved on from this to directing the new big Godzilla
Honestly,
movie.
that's really good because, I think this is, technically speaking, let's go ahead and move into the technical elements of Krampus.
Here we go.
It's so strong. It's very, tight technically, and I think
Super
that
well
enhances it. Yeah. I think all the effects are really well done, and I also, one thing in particular that I raved about when I first saw it, because I saw it in the theater, so, I had, a heightened sense of this, was the sound mixing was so good. It was just, took such care with the sound mixing, and I remember that was something that really stuck out to me.
It's funny you mention that because, I also rewatched the Red Letter Media review of it in preparation before I saw it, and I remember this from when I first saw it as well. But the number one thing that they talk about is also the sound design, far as the howling of the wind and I noticed it when it was the jangling of the chains and stuff like that. There's a lot of really good. There's a lot of good sound design in that.
It almost functions like it's almost like old school radio show where I feel like you could listen to it.
It feels to me like a very classic, almost 80s movie.
Oh yeah, it totally does.
Well, the thing that I wanted to know more about, which I didn't find anything out about, is the effects with the snow, the streets being snowed in by this blizzard. I was very impressed.
It looked so good. Yeah.
It looked very real, and I wanted
when that girl is walking, I was like, she's gonna fall.
Man, I was so sad when she died first because I was like,
she's like you.
I thought that she was going to get, like, because her brother in the letter at the beginning, which was, I mean, I'm going all over the place, but, like, the sister, like, the brother expresses that he wishes that his relationship with his sister were better, like, the way it used to be. And then when she was, like, the first one to get iced, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get some closure here.
Yeah, it's
but nah.
Well, I think, like, okay, so let's go ahead and start at the beginning. So, Krampus is about a dysfunctional family, and just their Christmas celebrations gone wrong when their son wishes that, what does he wish for?
Well,
he says, what does he say exactly?
Well, he wishes in a letter to Santa that his family life were repaired because he loves Christmas so much.
Yeah.
But he gets driven to the point where he rips up the letter, throws it away. And we don't hear what he says, but in the flashback with the grandma, she says that she wished that her family were just out of her life at that point. And so it's implied that that's what he wishes for, because almost the exact same thing happens to him that happens to the grandma. But the first shot of the movie is actually a very funny, campy. It's like a very
like Black Friday.
Yeah, and then it like the doors open up in this like mall.
All the
it's called
get like
Mucho Mart or whatever, and like they just rush in and they're just like elbows and like the workers are getting trampled.
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
really good.
It's like an amazing send up. And then also I thought was funny is that they're doing a recital for school inside the Mucho Mart at the same time.
No, you never did that as a kid?
Not inside a store.
Really?
Never.
We used to always go to the mall with like our little Christmas like band groups, and we'd play Christmas carols.
I mean, we had like any time that we did holiday stuff, it was always in school.
Really?
So I thought that was really funny, like the way it kind of ties together this like sort of commercialization, but it's more about just sort of like family in a way, which is kind of a basic theme, but the way that it goes about showing the dynamics of the different families is interesting. Like it plays up that whole liberal versus conservative, like rich
holiday,
versus poor
like,
kind of thing.
Yeah. It pretty much plays off of every traditional like horror story you hear people complain about when they have to go visit their relatives for the holidays. And I think that's always really interesting. So you have like his two parents, his sister, his aunt, and his grandma, and his uncle, and their children. But their children aren't really like, I mean, like,
man,
that was horrifying.
Let me tell you what. The scene when they open up the door and they all start coming in, I was like, how many of them are?
I want to die.
It made me so uncomfortable. Like the kid that doesn't say anything and just like stares at. I was like, what the hell?
It was so good, and it's just such a good job of setting up that family dynamic that when all the horrifying stuff happens, it's really horrifying because you feel like you understand all these characters and you know them.
It's
really
interesting
well.
how the conflict actually makes them closer together.
Yeah,
like especially the relationship between David Koechner as the uncle and
the father,
Adam and the Aviator's Adam Scott.
Adam Scott is really good in this movie, though.
I thought it was really funny when he showed up in the Aviator when I went to the screening for class, and it was like I was like, oh my god, Adam Scott's
Charlie has
here.
this thing though where he'll like list off any actor and be like, is that insert actor's name? And it's one of my favorite things Charlie does, and it's the cutest.
I have spent a lot of my life learning actors and movies and dates and stuff, and it was funny because it was a thing that happened. You weren't there, but me and Rebecca were sitting in the back, and Sean was in like kind of in front of us a few rows. And at a certain point, Katharine Hepburn, played by Cate Blanchett, is in like this place, and she's just like, "Oh, this Howard Hughes guy," and like there's like this actor like sitting over here, like, "Oh, trouble at whatever," and I was like, is that supposed to be Spencer Tracy? I really can't tell. And like Sean Forrest turned around and he like pointed at me and he was like,
He was like, oh.
And I was like, oh. So yeah, I do that. But you know, it was funny when Adam Scott showed up in that, and then Adam Scott I already knew was in this because he was in Parks and Rec, and you saw him in the trailer and everything. And
then my favorite,
Toni Collette as the mom. Can we talk about Toni Collette?
She's great.
She's always so good.
So good.
Toni Collette.
I just love when she's angrily like with the flamethrower, like doing the creme brulee.
Oh yeah, and then the aunt, her aunt's there, and she's just like, and like she's all like, "Get the hell out of my kitchen." I was like,
We're like, yes.
But like what I was telling you earlier that I thought was funny, because obviously there's an abusive aunt who like chastises the younger women in the family all the time. Like that's a thing Like, that's a trope in movies, but it's a thing that
It's an archetype in real life.
I don't know if I see that in my family as much, but, like, I recognize it in other people's families that I see this type of thing. Like, there are family figures that sort of chastise the younger family figures, which I see. And the thing that I thought was interesting is that this aunt character doesn't really ever have a chance to really be like that.
It's true, yeah.
So she just kind of ends up being kind of around, just like saying a funny thing here and there, and then just sort of shooting some people in an awesome way at the end. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm supposed to dislike this person, because she doesn't even
you're supposed to dislike anyone.
I feel like I was very ready to dislike a lot of the characters. I was ready to dislike
the uncle, but then it kind of comes around.
I mean, in a way, I still felt certain things about.
Charlie's just like he's just
when he pulls out the shotgun out of the back of the Hummer.
He's just suddenly Slavoj Žižek, and he just sniffs and goes, ideology. You're not of ideology.
The man who comes out of the Hummer. Listen, I've spent a long time cultivating my Slavoj Žižek. We're probably starting to run a little long on this.
Anyway, yeah. Let's talk about some high points that we really like. We're trying to keep all of these to like 15 to 20 minutes.
In a perfect world, 12 minutes.
In a perfect world, 12 minutes.
Probably not going to
12 days of Christmas, it's fine. But I love that shot where he's in the kitchen and it's dark out. Everything's dark and he has a flashlight and he just like shines a light on the fridge.
There's a gingerbread.
And there's just a gingerbread man with a knife through it. It's like, Now, that being said, all of the monsters in this film are horrifying, and they're so well done.
I thought they were really cute. I liked them a lot.
They're cute until they're not, though. Like that's
the only one that really fucked me up was that big Jack-in-the-Box worm.
Ew.
That thing is like, what the hell?
Yeah.
The way it just like lurches around and then it like digs through the snow and all that
so
stuff.
Gross.
It's really weird.
Yeah, it's
but
really gross.
All the creature designs were awesome. I looked up. I was trying to figure out more about how it was made afterwards, but the creatures were done by Weta Workshop, which was
Oh, that's so cool.
They did. I think they're actually working on the Godzilla thing.
Do they have a show? Because I remember there was a show like that on Sci-Fi where it was like about making monsters.
I don't know if
for movie
Weta was affiliated with that, but they are famous for being Peter Jackson's studio.
Oh.
They did all the Lord of the Rings movies. They do a lot of creature effects for people and stuff. They did the CGI for the Planet of the Apes movies.
Man, they're just so well done. It just looks great.
They're really good.
And even like when it gets into like it has this really cool animation segment that is beautiful.
It looks like stop motion, but it's
really?
CGI.
Oh man. It's just so beautiful, though. It just looks amazing. It's kind of like to compare the art style. It kind of reminded me when I saw it of like that Deathly Hallows segment where it's like all animated.
I was definitely getting a strong Guillermo del Toro vibe towards the end. To me, the scariest part of the movie was actually when the cousin is reading out his letter at the dinner table. I was just like, no, please.
It's horrifying.
I wish my mom and dad loved each other as much as they used to. I'm like, please.
And I love that kid's Hitchcock fall at the end where he's in vertigo and he's just
that was pretty funny. Yeah. And then it's like almost that I was like feeling to myself, I was like, hopefully everyone just comes back to life, because I
totally thought that was going to happen.
I would really hope we have a happy ending. And then it's sort of a bittersweet ending because they suddenly he wakes up and it's like the perfect Christmas again. They're all kind of like a little bit shitty to each other, but it's a lot better than it was before. So like, but then like he gets the Krampus bell and he's like, oh, and then it zooms out of a snow globe and they're in Krampus's workshop and I'm like, so they're trapped in a perpetual nice Christmas in a snow globe. So they just have to keep reliving Christmas over and over again, which is like, as far as like
horrifying.
As far as like purgatory or hell goes, having a good Christmas forever isn't like the worst thing in the world.
It's true.
So I'm kind of like, it's kind of bittersweet. Definitely more like they'll never really know that they're completely trapped, I don't think. But at least there's that.
Krampus is just so scary, though. I remember when he was on the roof. I was like,
oh, look at his old man face. And he's just got like a big old man face, like man.
And then he's like the like weird goat feet.
Yeah, I really liked the elves that showed up. Like that was another thing that reminded me of the goblins from Legend. Like they're sort of unique designs in the way that they each kind of have like a different thing, like their masks all mean different things. And I like how that symbol, it's like a cult symbol, keeps showing up on the mask, like with the angel thing in the attic, and the mask of the elf. There was like recurring symbols and stuff like that, so that was cool.
Overall, great movie.
Oh yeah, like 8.5 out of 10 for me.
Yes. Now, what really drives this home as a Christmas movie, and I think people should watch it more. I feel like it's been neglected in the past couple years, and it is so good.
Yes. Listen, I was going into this thing, and I was looking out for two things. One, does it work as a Christmas movie? Mm-hmm. And two, does it work as a horror movie? And I can say it definitely had like an Evil Dead, Gremlins-esque type vibe to it. Like Gremlins being a Christmas movie as well. But Krampus did really feel like the message is really hammered home that it is about family. Christmas and like, just sort of learning that everybody's got positive
family
and negatives.
And tradition and like
just like respecting each other and wanting that Christmas spirit, which is so which makes all good Christmas movies, is the acknowledgement that the best thing about Christmas is that people can be better and learn to love and respect one another, and that's like the thing that brings it all together every year, I think. So
that's so sweet.
Krampus,
tear in my eye.
That's what good Christmas movies ought to do. So there's
Krampus, I give it a 5 out of 5. It's real good. I give it a 5 out of 5.
I give it like a 4.5 out of 5.
What did I give it? I don't know what I gave it. Let me see really quick.
I think at points it feels a little.
I give it a 4.
A little bare.
4. Solid 4.
But you might bump that up now with nostalgia.
I might give it a 4.5, but I think a 4 is pretty strong. It's definitely an above average film.
It's not like it's mind blowing. It's not like Stalker or something. It's a really good adventure.
Okay, yeah, you're 5. I think it's a really well done film. Yeah, but if I'm comparing it to like every other film I've seen, a 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I'm talking about it in the grand scheme of Christmas movies, like it's very, very well done.
It's a good
You should
one.
go watch it. It's really good.
I mean, at least it's different. It's a horror movie, so there's that. Okay.
Well, we will see you tomorrow. Day 2 with what film, Charlie?
We're gonna be talking about Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Yes. So we'll see you
starring David Bowie.
Have your
Isn't
eggnog
it crazy
ready?
how all of our
we
content has
about,
this like through
2
line?
David Bowies.
And this movie was very Jim Henson.
Literally, that's weird.
Wow.
Oh. See you guys tomorrow.
Very happy.
Take us out, Charlie.
It's beginning to look a lot like. Hey, give me another eggnog, you son of Jim. Let me tell you something about when certain people weren't allowed in bars. Grandpa, no.
Grandpa.